Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Wow, I have not filmed in so many weeks, or what feels like so many weeks. I was in LA for 2 weeks and then I got back and it's been working, so I haven't had time to film. So I apologize for that, and I apologize that I was not able to bring you a monthly favorites. I actually had my list going for August, but I obviously we're in the middle of September now, so I'll just save those for September, plus new things that I will be loving. But yeah, I am going to sit here and today we're going to be doing a sweat-proof makeup tutorial. Now I know what you're thinking, we're going into fall, but I live in Vegas and it is currently 100 degrees outside. And so, you know, you can sweat any time of the year, in my opinion. Like, I'm sweating right now. I'm all huffy puffy. So I just figured I'd do a get ready with me style video where I sit down and I show you all of my favorite long wearing products, how to apply them for maximum effectiveness and lasting power. And yeah, this is just going to be my favorite long wearing products. We're going to do a little get ready with me and I'll show you how I apply them. So yeah, if you want to see that, don't forget to please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you know when I post. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. I actually just bought that candle literally today, and I am going to be doing my fall Bath & Body Works haul very soon, so stay tuned for that. It is coming, I promise. First things first, we are going to prime, and my favorite long wearing primer that does the trick is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I know some may experience irritation with this, but personally I have not. So I'm just gonna do 2 pumps of this. Honestly, 2 is all you need, and I'm just going to rub that all over my face. And since we are doing a very simple eye look, this is mainly like skin focused. I know I did like a radiant skin kind of tutorial for spring, but now obviously in the summer months and even as we're approaching fall, we want to do something a little bit more matte, a little bit more long wearing. I'm still going to be doing a full face of product, but I want to show you and take the time to explain all of my favorite long wearing products. This is a great job at just really adhering to your skin. This came out last year and I think it really just rocked the makeup industry. It's a gripping primer, so it comes out like a jelly consistency as you saw, but then as you apply it and you massage it into your skin, it does develop some tackiness which will help adhere onto your makeup. So I have a lot of long wearing foundations that I really like. I did like an everyday makeup routine using the Smashbox Studio Skin. This is a great long wearing foundation, 24-hour coverage. The Causemetics one is really nice. The Too Faced Peach Perfect is a classic 14-hour wear. But I thought I would just feature these 2 today. These are really, really great at making your makeup last. This one is the LA Girl Pro Matte HD Foundation. This one is in the shade Light Tan. I am tan. I did self-tan, so this fits me nicely in the summer. And then also the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass All Day Wear Foundation. This is 24-hour wear. It literally claims to be sweat-proof. So I am going to be applying 1 pump of each today. This one's a little bit more matte and a little bit more like heavy duty than this one, so I wanted to just kind of provide you both options. This one leaves like a beautiful suede-like finish on your skin. It's a little bit thicker, but combined, both of these are going to be great. And honestly, I like using a brush personally because when you use a sponge, because it's damp, it does impart some of that moisture onto your skin, so you do look a little bit dewy, which is great if you have dry skin. And I love like a Beauty Blender Juno sponge, like wet, damp beauty sponge finish. But for the sake of today's video, and usually on a day-to-day basis, I just use a brush because it's a little bit more matte and the product tends to last a little bit better on my skin. So I'm just going to do that and just dab. Remember, the less product you have on your skin, the less you have to sweat off, obviously, right? So if you're not even looking to put on like a base, you can skip foundation altogether and just go in with some concealer. But if you're looking for, you know, some products and you just want to do a full face, but have it be long wearing, these are great, especially affordable options. So that's why I am doing this, just to give you options. So I'm just going to blend that into my skin. And also when you blend out your foundation, it's good to swipe with a brush to, you know, obviously get the product on, but you really want to push it into your skin. So I like to, after I go ahead and spread the product out all over my face, I like to go in with patting motions just so that it really just sinks deeper in, so it's not just like sitting lightly on top of the skin, you know what I mean? Okay, so now that we have our foundation on, it's time to go in with concealer. These 3 concealers are great for long wear. This is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer, the J.Cat Stay Assurance Water Sealed Zero Smudge Concealer, and the Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer. They're all waterproof, all long lasting. For today's video, I'm going to be going in with the Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer. This is in the shade 020 Light Beige. This is an oldie but a goodie, and I'm just going to use this to highlight under my eyes. And this is an awesome concealer because it's so affordable. It's $6. You can get it at Ulta. And the formula is very liquidy but very pigmented, as you can see. And I'm literally out of this, so I have to get more. And then for spot concealing, I really like the Morphe Fluidity Concealer. I have the shade C3.15. This is great because it's a little bit of a thicker formula. It does stay in place all day long. So I'm just going to go over my problem areas with that. Just a little bit. I always prefer, I said this in every video, so I'm sorry if it's redundant. I always prefer one layer of foundation and then spot conceal where necessary. So I'm just going to blend that all in. Again with a brush, but this one is the Morphe M536. It's like an angled kind of tapered brush. And then for my foundation, I went in with the Morphe Y6. Again, using a brush to maximize like the matte effect, if you will. Okay, now that is all the cream products we're going to do. Of course, you can alter this as you see fit for your routine. One concealer, no concealer at all. It really is up to you. This is just what I'm doing. And to set on my under eyes, I'm going to take my Essence Brighten Banana Powder. This is very, very basic and very simple. Just going to get my powder brush in here. You do not need to set in with multiple powders, but I find that for me, it just helps. And then I'm going to go with a product I actually just bought. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter waterproof powder, and I really love their All Nighter foundation, so I thought I would give this a go. And it looks like this. It's a very smooth kind of powder. And to do this, I am actually going to be going in with a velour puff instead of a brush. Because a velour puff is denser and you're able to get literally all of it into the powder, it just presses into your skin much nicer, and you're able to have more powder on your skin and deposit more product, if that makes sense, just by the physics of how the puff works. And this is going to be great because you're really just locking in all of your makeup with that powder, so it's not going to slip around, it's not going to slide, and it's just going to maximize the effectiveness and the efficiency of everything you put underneath. So I'm just going to set all over the face. I like to especially focus this around my mouth and on my T-zone because that is where I get oily the most and where I tend to see my makeup separating the most. And obviously when you sweat along your forehead, so I would do it there. But then also here, if you're wearing sunglasses, a mask or whatever, this area is very prone to makeup sweating off, or you know, it just kind of not lasting as much. So there you have it. Now my face feels very smooth. I've got the powder on. It feels very kind of locked and loaded. So we are good in terms of complexion. Now for bronzer, honestly, I don't really notice that much of a difference between bronzers, but I do really like this one. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Powder Bronzer in the shade Saddle. I've had this for a minute. So I'm going to be using this. I don't really have like a primer infused bronzer per se, but typically from what I have experienced, the less powdery, the better. So in other words, a powder that doesn't have as much kick up, that isn't going to fly around as much, that tends to stay put better on my skin, and that is exactly the case with this. When you put your brush in, I will show you literally if I can find a brush. When I put my brush in, you really don't get a lot of kick up. That just to me means it's not going to fly up everywhere, so I'm just going to bronze my skin with that in my Eco Tools blending and bronzing brush. And then for blush, this is the first blush I thought of when I thought of this. I mean, there are a lot of great blushes. You can go in with a cream blush, and that, of course, will stick to your skin better. But the Buxom Primer Infused blushes are amazing. They truly do last a long time. Like Primer Infused might think is like gimmicky, but this actually does last forever on your skin. And I have the shade Seychelles, I'm sorry, I always get mixed up. And this has a beautiful sheen to it, and even though it looks light in the pan, it deposits really, really beautiful color, which I'm about to show you. And a little goes a long way. You can see that already, that glow, it just imparts on your skin. It's so beautiful. Okay, and then I am actually gonna save highlighter for last because I like doing that for some reason. But I am going to do my brows now, and I love a good, you know, brow pencil, whatever, but I have to say the Milani Weekend Brow Eyebrow Tint is the way to go. It can be a little bit intimidating to use because it is a literal like pen with like strokes, but because it's not a crayon, it's not going to wipe off, it's not going to smudge, and it's going to leave a little bit of a stain. So I'm just going to do my brows really quickly with that. Light strokes. And then if you want to blend it out, you can. You just have to do it really fast. You see the difference already between this one and this one with barely any product. That is the beauty of this product. Okay, so it obviously takes a little bit more time filling in your brows with a pen because you are buffing and blending more. I love how natural it looks, and you can rest assured that this will stay put longer in your brows when you're sweating, longer than a crayon or a pomade would. I'm going to take the Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel in the shade Grind just to seal it in place. Pretty much all brow gels do a great job of just like setting your brows and leaving them defined with color because that is the purpose of the brow gel. So any brow gel typically is going to be good for this. And then now for the eyes, I always like going in, obviously you can go in with primer. I didn't do that today because I put on foundation. And I find that as long as you have a base for your shadow to stick to, primer, concealer, whatever, it's okay. So for me, because I did my face first, I won't need that. But I always recommend like a cream shadow. I love the Super Shock shadows from ColourPop. They are really, really awesome, and I have a bunch. I also love the J.Cat Pris Metal Chrome Eye Mousse, which I'm going to be using today. And I just want today to be very minimal and very simple because if you're going out and you're sweating, you really don't want stuff to be running in your eyes. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my bronzer, and I am just going to slap that all over the crease just for a little something. And then all over the lid, I'm actually going to apply this J.Cat Pris Metal Eye Mousse in the shade Chrome Galaxy. It looks like this. It's literally a mousse. So it's just going to add a little bit of sparkle to your lid, which I really like. And because it's a cream, it's not going to move around. Like, look how pretty that is. Just going to tap that in. These are really buildable and really, really nice. And as I mentioned, because they are a mousse and because they're not like powder, they're going to stick nicely to your lid. I have never had an issue where I'm like out and like this is like running into my eyes. So hopefully it works for you as well. But any cream shadow, anything that's like moussey, that's not necessarily powder, is going to last a little bit longer. It might crease a little bit as you're sweating throughout the day, but it is going to last a little bit nicer. I'm just going to go back in with that bronzer and then just kind of go over the outer corner. I actually want to go in with a little bit of black on my waterline. So I'm going to take this actually new Wet n Wild palette. It still says cruelty free, and I know there's like contention on whether or not it is. I actually picked this up when I was in LA, and I really like this palette. It's called My Glamour Squad. And I'm just going to take the black in here and just smudge that really, really close to my upper lash line just for some definition. You don't have to. This is not necessary, but I personally like doing this to give my eyes a little bit more definition. Not going to really go anywhere. It's not, and even if it does, it's not going to make that big of a difference versus if you were wearing like a full-on eye look with like a bunch of shadow, a bunch of liner. Okay, that's literally all I'm going to do, and I'm just going to drag the excess on my bottom lashes. I'm not going to dip in again. And you don't have to do this. I don't really think like having product on your lower lashes is smart if you expect to be sweating, just because it can smear, it can run really easily. Obviously when you cry and your tears, they go down this way. So in terms of long lasting, having product there is always subject to leave your face or your eyes really quickly, but I'm just doing it for today's, just, you know, so you can see. And so that is pretty much it for the eyes. I'm going to actually curl my lashes now and go in with some mascara. Okay, so I always like going in with a lash primer, always, just because I think it gives your eyes a better effect. And also because it will make your mascara stick to it better. So I love the Marc Jacobs Velvet Lash Primer. I'm just going to do that. It's not necessarily going to make your mascara waterproof or anything, but it's just going to give you a nice barrier and the extra kind of hold. Okay, and then while that's drying, I actually am going to take my Essence Extreme Lasting pencil. You do not need to do this, but I'm so used to tightlining my eyes all the time. It's just a black hole, and I'm just going to put it here. I find that this stays put all day. So I don't really worry about it smudging into my eye. I never have an issue with this, and I've had this pencil for longer than I care to admit, and I would wear it every single day to work, so. This is great because it lasts in your waterline if you put on your waterline or your tight line, and it's not going to smudge. So get yourself a waterproof, long-lasting kohl pencil. I think it's a necessity in any collection. And then for mascara, you can go with a waterproof mascara. I personally don't like wearing waterproof mascara all the time, but I do love the Tarte Causemetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara. This was the only mascara I really brought with me to LA, and I wore it every single day. It gives your lashes such a beautiful, like, enhanced look. Like, it gives you so much volume and length, but because it's a tubing formula, it's not going to smear off, and it's going to come off in little tubes, so you don't get that like spider like smudging running down your eyes. This is probably one of my top essentials for a long-lasting makeup look, or anything that you want to do that can withstand sweat or the heat. So I'm just going to do a couple coats of that. Of course, if you have a waterproof mascara or your own tried and true, feel free to use that. But I just love using this and would recommend this to you if you're looking for a good long-wearing mascara that won't smudge and won't flake but isn't waterproof, because sometimes I know waterproof mascaras, like, they're really hard to remove, they damage your lashes, so yeah. Like, look how dramatic my lashes are. The fact that you can see them is like crazy for me because I have super straight lashes. And you don't have to put mascara on your bottom lashes. I just don't mind doing it with this one because it is a tubing formula, so it's not going to smudge. But yeah, that is my lashes, and I think they're like super dramatic. So yeah. Okay, and then now we can go back to highlighter. You can go with a cream base. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade On the Cusp. So I'm actually going to do a little bit of On the Cusp on my finger. And even though I am wearing powder, it is going to stick nicely. I'm just going to use this as a base for my powder product, just because this is really, really nice and I love the effect it gives my skin. You can use this on bare skin and it lasts really well, as I mentioned with like cream blush, kind of that same principle. But I apply this Super Shock cream highlight on top of powder all the time and I never have any issues. So that's why I'm doing it right now. And then to go over that, I'm going to take a tried and true. This is TheBalm Mary Lou-Manizer, which is not the best highlight, but this is like an OG. And I always find that this lasts. So it's kind of like putting powder on top of a cream, right? It's going to lock that in and make it look nicer, in addition to making it just look more intense. So I'm just going to put it down the nose a little bit. And here as well. You do not need to do both. It's very blinding if you do, which I love a blinding highlight, but obviously not everybody is into. Whoa, that is like super intense. A little bit too intense perhaps, but you know, it's fine, it's fine. Just gonna put some on my collarbones as well. Okay, and then I'm going to apply a little bit of that Mary Lou-Manizer on my inner corner and my brow bone as well. For lips, this is a great long wearing tool. This is the Urban Decay Ultimate Ozone Primer Pencil, and I use this as a lip liner and I put it all over my lips as a base. So I'll line it like this and just rub it all over, because this is going to prevent any feathering, any bleeding. It's going to really allow your lipstick to stick on top of it. And obviously for this, I recommend a good bulletproof liquid lipstick, a matte liquid lipstick if you don't want it to run. That's obviously the best kind of lip product for a look where you want everything to last. So I'm going to take this one. I haven't used this product in a really long time. This is the Kat Von D Double Dare Everlasting Liquid Lipstick. Kat Von D is now at Ulta, which is exciting. I'm just going to apply this all over my lips. These liquid lipsticks are very matte and they are pretty transfer proof, so this will last for a pretty long time. Okay, and then last but not least is setting spray. I love the Kat Von D Lock-It setting spray, but the ultimate best long wearing setting spray is undoubtedly the Cover FX High Performance Setting Spray. This really does make your makeup last. These two products are really the key to like long wearing makeup. The Milk Hydro Grip or gripping primer, and then a long lasting setting spray. I love this one because it's got a nice mist and the formula is really nice and it doesn't have denatured alcohol, which can irritate my skin. So I love that it provides that long wearing benefit without having that. So I'm just going to give it a good shaky here and then just spray all over my face. Oops. And the mist is super, super fine, so it doesn't really feel like you have much at all. And I'm just going to give that a nice little dry down and we're done. All right, everybody, and that is it for, excuse my hair, I'm sorry, I'm just like looking at it and I'm like, ugh, that does not look good. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's look. I hope you guys enjoyed today's routine. Let me know any takeaways that you found helpful from this video or any techniques or tips that you may have for a long lasting sweat-proof makeup face. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, please, if you did, and hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye.